In the yogic philosophy, our intellect is seen as an important part for evaluating our spiritual progress and evaluating our practices. However, it's also seen as a limitation. If you had the different levels of consciousness and vibration, the intellect is quite high up there. But what's more, if you like, a higher vibration is what's called the pure consciousness, the Atma, pure awareness. And so this is the mixed relationship we have with our own intellect. We need it for some kind of discrimination and discernment as we go. But really, to get in touch with that deepest part of knowing within your being, the intellect will get in the way. I remember, doing past life regression therapy on people and on myself a few years ago. And what part of the process of the training was to get people out of their intellect, because people would start to have what would appear to be a past life memory. Or sometimes when I do Reiki healing on people, they have experiences that are quite profound, and suddenly their intellect will jump in and just say, oh, you're just making this up, this is probably just something in the head, and literally shuts that level of consciousness down. So what people call the dark night of the soul is actually usually the destruction of that intellect, or when literally the awakening process takes us to the ceiling of the intellect, and we have maybe an intellectual understanding of what the spiritual path is, or Christianity is, or Hinduism is. And we're locked in that intellectual understanding, which means a philosophy, a conceptualization of the path. So for many, the dark night of the soul is the destruction of that, or the leap of faith that takes us out of the intellect into the unknown, into a kind of a trusting of our own way. And then it's interesting, a lot of people, the dark night of the soul, it will last, usually it can last a few years for a lot of people. Apparently Mother Teresa's dark night of the soul lasted a big chunk of her life. I think I read somewhere 40 or 50 years. And St. John of the Cross was, who coined the phrase the dark night of the soul. He's lasted a huge amount, most of his life actually. And my understanding of that would be that if you grew up in a very confined philosophy, which aspects of Christianity and Hinduism and Islam, they have that the absolute rules of the book and the unquestioned belief. So the dark night of the soul is the destruction, or the leaping out of that, the feeling that we already know. In Zen, the idea is relaxing into the mystery, into the not knowing, and through the not knowing, which represents the letting go of the intellect, we can transcend that limited intellect and start to see much more clearly, without trying to kind of second guess ourselves or be scared about our own knowing, our own understanding.